Good morning, everybody. I'm just a dance mom in a scrunchie. I took Clyde to ballet this morning, and I was thinking I was going to pull him because it just wasn't vibing. It just wasn't meshing. It's a lot of floor work, and he's just like a little boy that wants to run and shake his tits. So I thought maybe like gymnastics or I don't know, something else. But today we really turned a corner, okay? Baryshnikov is back, baby. He was pointing those toes. He was leaping. I mean, he was like somewhat listening to the instructions, and he really popped off the pages. So Cooper Nielsen, watch your fucking back because Clyde Hawes is coming for your gig. I got back from San Francisco a couple days ago. I had the best time at the San Francisco show. What a great crowd. I historically have had some trauma in San Francisco. My last two shows, like the first show, obviously we discussed this so many times. I lost a friend. And then the second show that I did in San Francisco, I brought my cousin Joe, and she made some remarks on, what was it exactly? I'll have to check the Reddit thread. I'm kidding. They don't exist, and I don't go on Reddit. She said something about feminism that didn't fare well in San Francisco, and then an anorexic joke, which always slaps, and then, or was it an anorexia or bulimia joke? I just don't know. I'll have to phone a friend. And then there was some commentary on the transgender community, which I will not repeat, and just not great. Like all said in jest, but not wonderful. It was a real record scratch. So I was so happy to redeem myself for the third time in San Francisco. But listen to this. Okay. So I fly out Tuesday morning, and I fly out of Burbank, which is a smaller airport in Los Angeles. It's the most unbelievable airport experience you will ever have. It's like walking into like a bedroom and then walking onto a plane and then walking out. It is the most easy, breezy, small. I was in and out of security in maybe 34 seconds. I was on the plane in 2 minutes. But listen. So I'm getting onto the airplane, and at Burbank, you kind of step out of the airport. The tarmacs are kind of outside. So you go up the ramp to board the plane. And I've got my carry-on, and I'm waiting to board. And, you know, you're just a stone's throw from the pilot's window, and the pilot's window is open. This is at 9:30 in the morning. I look at the pilot, who is 5 feet away from me as I'm waiting to board, and he has his head in his hands, and he is hysterically crying at 9:30 in the morning. Okay. So much so that I'm looking around at the other plane patrons, and I'm like, do you see what I see? And the woman's like, oh, he must be having a bad day. I'm like, you're not my people. You're not like allowing me to talk shit, and where you're not recognizing that this feels a little dangeroso. Okay. Head in hands, crying. I thought, oh, maybe he's watching something on the lap. Okay. Maybe he's meditating. Maybe he's going over flight paths. But no, as I'm getting closer, this man is hysterically crying, visibly crying before we board this 45-minute to San Francisco. So I'm thinking, okay, am I going to roll with this? Or what am I going to do? Deplane and book another flight? Like, time is money. I got to make it to San Francisco. Are we going to be okay because it's only a 45-minute flight? Maybe those are tears of joy. Maybe he has something to live for. Or is this suicide mission? And she believed she could, and she did, in row 28D, mind you, which I actually felt like better about, because I was kind of annoyed because I booked a last minute flight and it was so cheap. And I'm like, ugh, it's 45 minutes. Like, I don't need to pay this much money to like sit in just a slightly wider seat. You know what I'm saying? But then I started workshopping it, and I thought, if I die in coach, A, so embarrassing, but B, maybe the impact, maybe you die first when you're in business class, because if you're plummeting to the ground just by way of gravity, like, you're going to go. Like, maybe, God willing, I sit next to a few fat people and then I'm insulated. You know, it's like a plane airbag with flesh. I don't know. I started like really thinking about it. And then I texted Andrew and I was like, hey, the pilot is hysterically crying. If I don't make it, never remarry. Lilas bish. But I boarded, I landed, I lived, I laughed, I loved. San Francisco, I love that city so much. It's one of my favorite cities of all time. It's so beautiful. You're by the water. But it's a low-key apocalyptic in San Francisco right now. The amount of genitalia in the wild and like rogue needles and just homeless people running through the streets screaming. They got to figure that out. We got to figure that out. I was talking about it with my dad, and I'm like, why can't we just do plagiarism politics? Where we just look at other places that have had a homeless crisis and then replicate that without, I don't want to get into it because I'm not informed enough to really speak on the homelessness policies, but we got to figure it out because it's a little bit scary, and I feel bad for the homeless people, but then I feel bad, and everyone's very desensitized, and there's just zombies on the street, and it's the juxtaposition of this extremely beautiful, like, financial startup, Silicon Valley, like, all the hubs of, like, Uber and Airbnb and Bumble and whatever, kind of these, like, young, techie, smart, Harvard-y, and by Harvard, I think I mean Stanford. I don't know. I didn't go to college. I didn't graduate high school. But anyways, and then you just see like a man with a ball out and a needle in his arm. And it's very sad, but I had a great time. Wow, what a downer. Also on my way home, I moved my flight to fly home earlier so I could spend more time with Clyde because I'm such an amazing mother. And there was only like one seat left in row. When I tell you 58, like I was in the back of the motherfucking plane. And I just can't control my facial expression. So as I'm walking through the plane and I'm looking at those numbers, decline, I grimace, I'm making a face and it's fine. It's 45 minutes, whatever. But I sit down, I'm in the very last row. I'm like laughing already because I'm like, oh my God, I'm literally by the lavatories. It's just such a humbling experience. And then all of a sudden, the flight attendant comes on the PA system and is like, sorry, I'm just going to start some music. I didn't realize that we hadn't put our playlist on. And I'm like, okay, that's like a weird thing to announce. Like nobody really noticed. I was just focused on the lull of sadness, the hymns of just mundane, dismal energy in row 57. But sure, put on your playlist, girly. And this flight attendant, the first song that comes on, it is full volume. It is Train's Drops of Jupiter. And I was laughing so hard alone by myself in row 613 because the last thing you need to hear on a plane that might be going down with a crying pilot, and granted, this was a different flight, but whatever, I was still processing that experience is, now she's back in the atmosphere with her hands on time. And tell me, did you flash along the sun? Did you make it to the Milky Way to see it? Which is, by the way, if you were ever to go down in a plane, cue Train's Drops of Jupiter. I want the plane to crash during the second chorus. Did Venus blow your mind? Is it everything you wanted to find? And then you list me while you looking for yourself out there. Also, this is how I know I've been podcasting too long. Oh my God, I need a vocal coach. Jesus. That chorus put me into anaphylaxis. This is how I know I've been podcasting too long. I am very certain that is not my first performance of a Train song on this podcast. And secondly, this morning as I was getting ready to take Clyde to ballet, who are you? Nobody. That's a Maureen from Center Stage reference. I was like, Andrew, put some music on. He's like, Jackie, what do you want to listen to? And I was like, Andrew, play some 90s jams, which is kind of what I always say. I'm always like on a 90s tip. I want 90s hip hop. I want 90s alternative. I want 90s pop hits, all of the 90s, all of the time. I'm like, I don't know. And I'm like pretending like I'm going to think of something new. Although I have been playing kind of like 1960s French cafe music for Clyde's dinner time. We kind of alternate to like different, countries. And by countries, I mean genres and countries. Anyways, I was like, 90s jams, Andrew. And he's like, shocker. First song that comes on, Melissa Etheridge's Come to My Window. And I was like, this is such an angsty lesbo bop. And like, if this isn't the greatest karaoke song, that is a great karaoke song. And then I started thinking, I've definitely also already performed Melissa Etheridge's Come to My Window on this podcast, which is like probably means for retirement. Like when you know that you've sang Melissa Etheridge twice on a podcast and you can't remember, it's because you've been doing it too long. And Train, I can't. But like that for, I would dial the numbers just to listen to your breath, and I would walk inside the depths of hell. Wait, what is it? Hold, please. Come to my window. Oh, this is the breathy intro. By the way, I've definitely already done this. Raise your hand if you've already heard me sing Come to My Window by Melissa Etheridge. Unless you're driving, then lift both hands and drive off the road because this is a shit show. Come to my window, crawl inside, wait by the light of... Oh, wait, no, that's not it. I would dial the numbers just to listen to your breath, and I would stand in... I'm going to do it again. I know we're just milking the clock, but I have to practice because I really do need a new karaoke song. I would dial the numbers just to listen to your breath, and I would stand inside my hell and hold the hand of death. You don't know how far I'd go to ease this precious ache, and you don't know how much I'd give. Oh, I forgot Clyde's napping. Time to wake up. Mommy singing her lesbo lullaby. What a jam. Wow. Wait, Sharp Right, can I tell you something that will both shock you and bewilder you? I was going to keep this to myself because it is just a bit embarrassing. I also just shot myself up with NAD, so if I start to really take off like a rocket ship in the next 15 minutes, bear with me. And if you have any, harrowing tale about your own journey with NAD, like multiplying cancer cells and then you die, like I'm not really interested because I feel amazing. Here's my truth. This morning, you'll notice if you're watching the video that I have a pretty stunning blow dry and some type of like a contour, like she's wearing concealer. I look slightly less busted than usual, but just barely. This morning, and wait for it, okay? Take a deep breath in and exhale. The Schimmel-Haas household took family photos. Now, we didn't go outside. I didn't wear a wide-brimmed hat and a midi dress with a wedge. There were no white button-downs, although I guess technically I was in a white button-down, albeit with ostrich feathers. But was I in a white button-down this morning? Yes. Were we in a meadow somewhere? Absolutely not. I said to the photographer, I'm like, I'm a woman deeply concerned about Lyme's disease, so we're not going into any field of any weeds or pampas grass or even the backyard, really. I like an indoor kind of editorial adjacent looking family photo shoot, like light on the dorky, heavy on the cute. And not even, I'd rather us all be like, staring blankly vacant into a camera. As long as I'm well lit and my jaw looks chiseled, I don't really care about how Andrew and Clyde look, although I did hit Clyde with just a little bit of bronzer. I was like, please look away. Don't call CPS. And I just gave him a little bit of color in the cheeks because it was very early in the morning and it was foggy. And I felt like the natural light was not complimenting him, and he's just so drop dead gorgeous. Unfortunately, Clyde was a monster during the entirety of the 14 minutes that we took professional photos. He started off strong, and then I saw his modeling career just slip through my fingers, through my ostrich feathers, and I'm like, this isn't going to work. But I scheduled this photo shoot. I mean, that's like a generous statement, like a month ago or so, because I thought, God, Clyde is 2 now. We have no professional photos at all of him. It's really just about him. I mean, if I happen to get a solo shot that makes me look stunning and maternal. Like, am I going to hit you with it? Of course. But just to have like some documentation of us as a family that wasn't taken on like an iPhone 11 from like a random passerby. We have no photos as a family, like very, very minimal photos. So I thought it was time, and Off-Brand October has just really taken over my body. But I'm happy that we did the photos because last week, Andrew calls me. He's in like a routine, like dental investigation or appointment or whatever you want to call it. And can I tell you, this is so not nice to say out loud, but something does give me just an evil little tickle in the pickle when Andrew goes in for like any type of like a routine like teeth cleaning, and then it's like an emergency surgery. It's happened a couple times, especially because like he was so on me when I was pregnant. He's like, I read an article that the plaque can give you a heart attack and birth defects. And I was like, ugh, whatever. So he drags me to the dentist against my will. And they're like, everything looks perfect. Your bone density is beautiful. No cavities, this, that, the other thing. I'm like, oh my God, like put a gold sticker on my forehead. And meanwhile, Andrew, who is such a hypochondriac, so diligent, overly diligent about everything, about the checkups, about the this, about the that, he always gets sideswiped by some type of like not serious, but like really intensive, painful fix. Okay. He had to go in for emergency root canal the last time he went into like just a basic cleaning, and he panics. Okay. She is cool, calm, and collected on the outside, but a fucking mess on the inside. Okay. And does it bring me just a sprig of joy here and there? Yes. Is that terrible to admit? Also, yes. There was some like beautiful karmic, I don't know, because he was just so on my ass. And I'm like, bitch, look inward. So he calls me last week, and I can hear it in his voice. Cool, calm Andy. She's becoming unraveled. And she's like, I'm freaking out. I'm like, what is it, Andrew? It's just another cloudy day in Andy's world. I'm like, what's going on? I was like, I'm having sushi. What? And he's like, I just saw Dr. So-and-so, and I've got a cyst in the bone, like something like deeply, deeply annoying, but not serious. You know what I mean? Like something that he always manages to acquire, something that needs like a really expensive surgery, but isn't like dangerous necessarily. So there's something with the bone in the roof of his mouth, and it was causing him pain. And I thought he was being a pussy. I'm like, get some fucking Advil, get a popsicle, and shut the fuck up. Alas, he has to get some type of a surgery. And he's like, the doctor. Oh, I got a little glimmer. Something to look forward to. He's like, the doctor said he's going to try his best to save my front teeth, but there's a chance that when they remove the cyst that they're going to have to take out some of the bone, and they're going to have to remove my two front teeth. And he's like, and I'm like, well, can they put veneers in? He's like, no, I'm going to have to go to a different doctor. I'm like, Andrew, are you telling me that there's a percentage that you're going to come home toothless, not homeless? Like, what are you talking about? He's like, I don't get that joke. And I'm like, oh my God, you're vibeless, toothless, and you're going to be homeless and wifeless if you don't lean into my sense of humor here. So that's on Wednesday. Everybody stay posted. This is what we call a cunty cliffhanger. Will my husband have teeth or not? We're not fucking sure. Imagine he has to get little toddlers and tiaras, a little flipperoonie just in time for Halloween. So luckily we got these photo shoots 48 hours before my husband becomes toothless. A toothy wonder. I was talking to my sister-in-law this morning, and her and Andrew were talking, catching up. I'm like, hey, Allie, guess what? And she inspired me. My sister-in-law, those children are the Hadids. They're so gorgeous. They're like the most gorgeous family. If you close your eyes and you Googled like beautiful American family, Caucasian, like gorgeous, you would see my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, and those three children. They like are plucked from a fucking catalog. Okay. And because they're so gorgeous, they've had like 7,000 photo shoots. And I tell her all the time, I'm like, you guys are the fucking Kentucky Hadid's. I've never seen more beautiful photos on a consistent basis. And I was like, I haven't done one. And I always say, oh, I got to do it. I got to do it. I got to do it. Because just for the memories and just, I'm not getting any thinner and I'm not getting any younger and I ain't getting any cuter. So I might as well capture the moment. Anyways, so I grabbed the phone from Andrew and I'm like, hey, good news is we're taking some professional photos this morning. So if your brother gets his teeth knocked out, at least we have the memories. She was laughing so hard. We were both crying. And Andrew's like, what is wrong with you? Like, why are you finding so much joy in this tragedy for me? And I'm like, I don't know, Andrew. I'm not sure, but like, let me have it. Let a girl have her sunshine. Let a girl have her sunshine. So I will be starting a new charity in Andrew's honor. It is called Toothless, Not Wifeless. Toothless, Not Whiteless. Whiteless. Okay, that's great. Whitelist. What's that? We don't like that one bit. Good times. Oh, by the way, if you haven't bought tickets, speaking of white people, I'd like a little bit more variety. Wait, can I tell you the best story? Are we going to have to cut this out? My favorite thing about my shows is that I'm not drawing a strictly Caucasian crowd, which makes me so happy because the caucasity of it all, like I just can't fucking deal. I can't remember if I told this story or not. I met these 3 girls in Philadelphia and they were at the meet and greet. They were the vibe of all vibes. Okay. It was an Indian girl, an Asian girl, and a black girl. They all come up and we have a big hug. And she's like, I was going to DM you because I wanted you to upgrade our seats because I thought it would be a good look if we were sitting in the front row. And I said, honestly, why the fuck didn't you DM me? I could have really used a little diversity towards the front of the house. So thank you so much. We were crying, laughing so hard. I'm like, these are my fucking bitches right here. So funny. So anywho, I've got tickets to sell. thebitchbible.com/tour, Nashville. We're a little undersold. I'm kind of disappointed in you. And if for nothing else, do it for charity, my personal charity, Toothless Not Wifeless. Buy a ticket. It's going to be so fun. The venue is amazing. I'll have you home by 9. I've got a lot of friends coming into town. It's going to be an experience. Also, I have special guests. I know I was lying about that in Irvine, but Atlanta, I probably shouldn't say this, but it rhymes with Schmether Thick Can. Okay, if you can put that together. It rhymes with Mether Hickman. And I'm just saying a real bang for the buck. So come on down. We're going to have a blast in Los Angeles. If you'd like to attend my literal bat mitzvah with every family member, my childhood friends, my old teachers, like, please come to the Los Angeles show because it's going to be fucking weird. Bitchbible.com/tour. Few tickets left. Okay. But Nashville, pick up the pace, baby. What the fuck is Group 7? What's 6, 7, and what's Group 7? I don't want to know. I tried chat GBTing it, and it said Group 7 on the periodic table is the halogens. They're reactive nonmetals. What the fuck is that? Group 7 just means the 7th assigned team or category. There's also a group of 7, a famous collective of Canadian painters. There's something going on TikTok being like Group 7, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8. They say a Group 7 person refers to someone who became a viral part of a recent TikTok trend after seeing a specific video first on their For You page. The trend started when singer Sophia James posted 7 videos as an experiment to see which one would go viral. The 7th video, which many identified as the one that reached them first, gained massive engagement, and users who saw it first became Group 7 members. Who fucking cares? Wait, can we just all collectively agree that this is the dumbest shit of all time? I mean, God bless Sophia James or whatever her fucking name is, but this is so stupid. Everyone's like, Group 7, fuck off. By the way, who wants to be Group 7? I thought it was like an airline thing. Like I thought it was like a deep cut joke, like you're last to board. Like that's where my brain went. I'm like, oh, that's funny. That means like you're just like stupid and slow or something. I thought it meant like literally last to board the plane, like group 7, economy bitch. Like, I don't know, which is a funnier explanation than that. I still don't understand it. And I don't know what 6, 7 means. All I want to know is 5, 6, 7, 8. Grand jeté, hit your mark. I don't know. Center stage reference, showgirls, but 6, 7, 6, 7. I heard someone say that the other day, and I'm like, I'm not even going to fucking ask. I don't want to know. I want to live in the dark with this shit. You know what I mean? I don't care about any virality. Ooh, speaking of virality, though, I just listened to the new Lily Allen album. Tea. That's another thing people are saying. Tea. Green tea, iced tea. What's tea? Tea. It's like tea is the new period. I'm not participating, and it's not because I'm old. It's because I'm smart, and I don't want to participate in trendy language. Okay, thank you very much. Lily Allen's new album, it is called West End Girl. I saw it on the Tickety Talks. I'm like, I love Lily Allen. I'll give a listen. Lo and behold, toothless, not wifeless, Andy Haas did additional production on Tennis. So, which is so random because I quite like the song Tennis. I said, Andrew, why didn't you tell me? And he's like, who fucking cares? And I'm like, I do because I like it. I always say to Andrew, I'm such a cunt. I mean, listen, he writes a song or two every single day. So as you can imagine, we've been together 14 years, longer, maybe 14 plus years. Do you know how much music I've had to listen to of his? Like at the beginning, I was like, my boyfriends and music, my boyfriends and music. And I would listen to the shittiest demos. And I'm like, he is Mozart. He is a genius. And then I'd make my friends listen. I'd make my parents listen. Now we're talking 14 plus years. I say, listen, Andy, I'll hear it on the radio. And if I don't hear it on the radio, I don't fucking care. Like, imagine if I sat him down and I made him listen to this podcast every week. He hasn't listened to an episode since 2002. Like, he's got the real thing live and direct. He doesn't give a fuck. Okay. And I think it's refreshing on both ends. Anyways, the Lily Allen album is what a ride. What a soap opera. So she's married to this guy from Stranger Things, and you start to finish, it really is like a telenovela. The first track, she kind of like sets the scene, beautiful storytelling about how they moved to New York. Then she gets a call to star in a play. And in the middle of the song, they go into this like kind of reenactment of like a conversation with her and her then Stranger Things actor husband. And basically he asks for like some type of an open marriage situation, which never works out. Never. I think about this all the time. I've been pretty vocal. If Andrew even so much as like hit a bitch with a heart emoji, dead. Brake cables, cut. Toothless and wifeless. So the open marriage thing, I'm so like, I understand and I don't understand. I'm trying to be like open-minded and woke and progressive, but like deep in my soul, like just don't get married, by the way. Just don't get married if that's what you want to do. Like, do you? But like, I'm just saying it's very confusing. Let's say you have kids and you fall out of love, but you want to keep your family together, and you say, listen, you can go pork these prostitutes, but like, don't bring it into the home. Get what you need. And then like, we're not talking about it. Fuck a stranger, come home. Let's keep our family unit till the kids turn 18. And then, you know, I'm going to go get with the cabana boy. Maybe. But I don't think they don't have children. So I find that like dynamic to be interesting. And I just don't think it ever ends well. I don't think historically we've ever seen that end well. Although I do know some celebrity couples that 100%, and I'm not going to say names because that would be in poor taste, but like beloved celebrity couples that have been together for decades, that have children, that present as a united front, that are 1,000,000% fucking other people. And I believe that they both know, but it's such an entity as a couple and as a family that they just have an arrangement. So maybe it does work for some people who are trying to keep their family together. But for Lily Allen, they don't have kids, and they were only married like 4 or 5 years when this all went down. And it kind of like goes into this whole saga of them agreeing to an open marriage and him like fucking somebody they both knew, and like the emotions of that and her trying not to relapse. It's a very honest, artistic kind of play-by-play of the breakdown of their marriage. And I thought it was really unique and interesting. And I love the track Tanas. Also, trauma on trauma. I went to Aritzia the other day. I saw a friend and she was like wearing this really cute like little sweater and this little skirt. And I was like, where'd you get that? And she's like, Aritzia. You know how I feel about Aritzia. Like, it's just, I'm so overwhelmed by Aritzia. I don't subscribe to like the Aritzia way of life, but I thought I'm going to pop in there because it does look like they have like cute basics and like just nice sweaters, whatever. So I go into Aritzia for the first time in a couple of years. Hey, girly, how are you? Let us know if we can help you with anything. I'm like, okay, thank you. I turn the next corner. Hey, girly girl. Hey, babe. Hey, cutie. What's up? Like, let me know. And then I'm like, okay, all right. Hi, girly. Hey, thank you. Okay, thanks. Just looking for sweaters. Just, hey, girly girl. I'm like, oh my God. Okay. All right. So I get a dressing room. I wasn't even going to go into the dressing room because I do have PTSD. It was like 4 years ago, but I went into the Aritzia dressing room and I just remember it being like a very overwhelming experience. But I didn't want to have to like schlep the returns, whatever. And at first I was like, no, it's okay. I don't think I need to try them on. She's like, babe, you got to try them on. You got to try them on. Just try them on. I was like, okay. Like anything to shut the conversation down. So I go into the dressing room. Mind you, I'm just trying on like basic t-shirts and like sweaters. And there's like a black, like close your eyes and just think of a black cashmere sweater. Like nothing exciting, as basic fucking gets. And this girl looks at me. She's working at Aritzia. It is a Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. She is wearing a elbow leather glove, a leather strapless mini dress, like Posh Spice, okay? Red tights and like an Oxford loafer. And I'm like, I don't want this bitch's advice on anything that I'm putting on my body. You are wearing a red tight and an opera glove. It's Tuesday. It's Aritzia. We've got to calm the fuck down. And she holds up my sweater. She's like, are you Jackie, babe? And I'm like, you betcha, girly girl. And she's like, okay, I'm going to put you in the big room. Don't forget to come out and show me the cuteness. I was like, okay, thank you. And she's like, I'm Veronica if you need anything, babe. I'm like, okay, babe. And then she's like, by the way, these sweaters are a moment. And I'm like, yeah, they're a moment. And she's like, show me. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I will do anything to not walk out into that communal dressing room. There's no fucking mirrors in the dressing rooms. So it's like fashion show limited to like all these broken souls who, you know, are just like, I'm just trying to buy like a trouser for work and a blazer and maybe a fucking sweater. And now we're forced into this like Brittany Murphy clueless makeover runway show with the girlies of Aritzia. And I'm like, fuck. I tried to put the phone up on the stool to see how it fit on the pants. And I'm trying to jump up and take a picture, anything to not go out. And all of a sudden she's like, babe. And I'm like, am I babe? Am I girly? Am I like, what, who am I? Like, which pet name am I going to get? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, come out. And I'm like, okay. I am wearing like literally like a Goldie jeans and a black sweater. And she's like, yes, queen, work it. And I'm like, oh my God, who do I have to fuck to get my sweater to go? Like, how can I make this like the least interactive experience possible? Yes, queen, get it, girl. And then I'm like, now she's pumping me with compliments. God forbid I don't buy the fucking sweater and jeans. Like, what will she do with her opera gloves? It was, I needed to eradicate the experience. I was just like, I was throwing the thing, trying to get out of there. Bye, girly girl. And then as you're leaving, it's like the biggest fucking store. It's the longest fucking store. As you're leaving, they're all popping out of the sweater piles being like, yes, queen, got it, girl. Love you, girly. See you next time. Have a great day. Which is like beautiful customer service, by the way. But too much. Like, I want to say something. I don't think I'll ever step foot in Aritzia again. Do I have a chest rash? Probably. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we have a recurring segment. It's been forgotten, but not forgiven. Nope, that's not how it goes. It's been lost but not forgotten. In this week's rendition, there we go, of Not All Heroes Wear Capes, I would like to celebrate a young woman named Kira Cousins, okay, from Scotland Island. Is Scotland? They're like adjacent. I've been to both. A woman of the world, okay? Young Scottish mother, Kira Cousins, okay? She faked an entire pregnancy and then tried to deceive friends and family with a lifelike silicone baby doll. Now, she faked an entire pregnancy for 10 months, okay? From like bump to bump to bump to birth all the way through to baby. This is unbelievable. I guess she was documenting all of this on TikTok, and she rolled out this whole birth scenario Ponzi scheme, had a fake ultrasound with a prosthetic belly. She had a gender reveal party with pink confetti. She was committed, okay? And her baby's name was Bonnie Lee Joyce, born on October 10th. She weighed 5 pounds and 4 ounces. But once again, this is not real. She faked all of this. So she probably wanted a smaller baby to like maintain the allure of her tight vagina. And then she thought, oh, maybe the baby's a little smaller and requires a little more care, so people will like send more dinners or something. Now I'm just getting into the mind of a killer or a psychopath, not a killer. So then she announces that this was her apology that she gave to her family, friends, and followers. I'm so sorry. I wasn't pregnant. There was no baby. I made it up and kept it going way too far. I faked scans, messages, a whole birth story, and acted like a doll was a real baby. I don't have a proper excuse. I wasn't in a good headspace, but that doesn't make what I did okay. I know this is going to stick with me for a long time and that I've probably lost friends I'll never get back. You cried happy tears, picked me up, brought me places, believed everything I said. You didn't deserve to be lied to like that. None of you did. Everyone who came to the gender reveal, all the people who gave me gifts or support, I fucked up and I hurt a lot of people. And to everyone I made look bad along the way, the dad and his family especially, I'm super sorry. In everyone else's defense, the doll could move. You could change the facial features, arms and legs, so when no one is close to the doll, it really does look real. No one was looking at my baby expecting it to be a doll. I love her. What a ride. Okay, I want to fake a pregnancy, which is like so tone deaf and tasteless and disgusting. But if I was to fake a pregnancy, I thought about this a lot when I worked as a receptionist. I'm like, if I faked, I used to think about strategies to exit my situation. And luckily I found podcasting and it's worked out splendidly for me. But before then, I didn't have a lot of options because I didn't have even a high school degree and I have no real skill set or like gifts or talents. So I was a bit limited. I'm like, I'm going to die behind this reception desk. And I thought, like, what if I, like, just for some time off, because Andrew was going to London. And I remember being like, oh, God, like, wouldn't it be amazing if I could just go? But of course I couldn't because I had bills to pay and a job and no options. And I thought, what if I said that I have a substance abuse problem and I need to go to rehab? And then I could get the paid time off. They couldn't legally fire me because it would be like a mental health issue, like a HIPAA violation. And then I could pretend that I was going to a 30-day rehab, but really I could just go to London with Andrew. And then I could just turn off my phone. And it wasn't like Instagram wasn't around. So it was kind of like a genius plan. And I floated it by my parents at the time. And they were like, that's really like not a great idea, but also genius. And I was like, I'm thinking about it. But then I was like, oh, if I go to the holiday party, I'm going to have to act like I'm in recovery. And I don't want to like deal with that so long term. And I don't want to like wear the cloak of having any type of like substance abuse issues long term and just feel like it's not the best look for me. And then I thought, well, I could pretend that I was pregnant but I don't know how you could get you'd have to give fake birth. And then I could do like, oh my God, I could do a baby shower, but I would only register for things at like Nordstrom or some like department stores with really good return policies, so that I could just like bring back the baby Bjorn and like maybe compile all the gifts and get an Andiamo bag or something, maybe a new piece of luggage, maybe a new Rimowa. Jackie, have you been on tour for months and months and months and at the very end decided to get a gorgeous set of glossy green Rimowa luggage to go hightail it back to economy? Yes, I sure did. Because when you are rolling to the back of a plane that might go down with a crying pilot, at bare minimum, you should have a beautiful green piece of Rimowa luggage. Highs and lows, baby. If I'm going to die to Train's Drops of Jupiter, I would like to deep breathe into my Rimowa. Okay. Wait, I want to say one more thing. The amount of DMs I get, speaking of faking a pregnancy, the amount of DMs and comments I get being like, are you pregnant? You look pregnant. Like, no, sis, this isn't your angle unless you're pregnant. I shouldn't have to say this one more time, but because you are so inherently fucking stupid, I'm looking you dead in your eye. If you've ever done this to anybody, this is why we won't march for you bitches, okay? Because it's a female on female crime. Do not ask anybody, unless you see a little foot coming out of their fucking vagina, if they are pregnant or not. Firstly, people going through IVF who have fertility struggles, often injecting themselves, their ovaries become the size of basketballs, and maybe they look pregnant. People who are postpartum and haven't lost baby weight. People who are just eating and living their fucking life, or people who are desperately trying to be pregnant, people who might have miscarried. You are in no fucking place ever to ask a stranger if they are fucking pregnant, unless you are a full-blown fucking idiot, okay? Morally bankrupt, detached from reality, stupid person. It's a stupid thing to ask for a myriad of reasons. Imagine going up to someone who's been trying to get pregnant, okay? Let's talk, this is fictitious. I'm not speaking from personal experience. Imagine having the audacity, to quote Ramona Singer, to go up to someone and ask them when they're having a baby or if they're having a baby, because you never know what the fuck is going on. I have friends who have had significant fertility issues, and the thought of anybody, take myself out of the equation because I'll just curb stomp a bitch, but imagine someone who is going through the heartbreak of having problems conceiving a child, okay, and they're injecting themselves and they're trying, maybe they've miscarried, maybe they've, just taken to Twinkies to cope with the stress of it all, and you get some dumb bitch with bad ombre hair in a fucking headband and a sad shoe with a crossbody bag coming up to them being like, do you want a baby, or are you pregnant, or whatever, fill in the blank, okay? And you've just opened this wound and you have no idea what's going on, and you should be fucking ashamed of yourselves. And if you have children and you're doing that to another woman, first of all, you're embarrassing your children. Mommy's stupid, okay? Mommy's stupid. Your mom is a stupid bitch. And going through it, having gone through it, having seen my friends go through it and struggle and all of that, I feel bad for you. I feel bad for you because you're a stupid person and your life's probably stupid and your kids are going to be stupid and everything you do, you're just stupid. You're looking through the lens of stupid. And it's not like, what's the big deal? It is a big deal. It's rude through and through. There's no way that is delivered in a nice package. If you are speaking to a friend and you know what they're going through and you're having a private conversation, but the amount of DMs I get, first of all, I'm adorable, okay? I don't look like I did when I was 25. I've got 8 extra pounds I'd like to shed, but I don't really care, to be totally honest. I can't have a 6-pack, this amazing personality, and this gorgeous life. It would be unlikable. I say this to all of my girlfriends too. I'm like, listen, we can't have 6-packs. We're hilarious, successful, smart, intelligent women. Imagine we walk around in a crop top. It would be over for you hoes. Like, you can't have it all, okay? And I just find it to be baffling. It doesn't insult me. It offends me how uninformed and how comfortable you are being so stupid. It really triggers me. Like, at bare minimum, we should wake up every day and try to at least pretend that you're not a fucking idiot, because you're a fucking idiot. Don't do it anymore. Don't do it anymore. And is this, I am throwing a stone in a glass house, because I will tell you, I think about this moment every single day. I was about 25 years old. And I was in my cousin's wedding, and one of the other girls that I had known for a long time, she was a bridesmaid. We were both bridesmaids. And at the cocktail hour, the dinner beforehand, the rehearsal dinner, she wasn't drinking. And if I knew her, like I thought I knew her, quite a booze hound, okay? And she kept saying how nauseous she was, and she was kind of like stroking her stomach. And I looked at her and I said, "Are you pregnant?" And she was like, her face went white, and she was like, "I haven't told anybody." And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. You don't look pregnant. You're not drinking." And then your stomach was hurting. And I was like half joking. It has haunted me for 10 plus years. I think about it all the time. She's like, "I haven't even told my mom yet." And I was like, oh my God. I'm so sorry. I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with me. You've never looked better. Like, I was just, oh my God. And I think about it all the time, because I'm like, what kind of dumb fuck? That was operating from a place lacking perspective and experience. I would never do that again. And then you click on the bitch that's always like, "You look pregnant." And it's like prayer hands, a Bible verse, mama to so and so, so and so and so and so. Your kids are laughing at you. Hey, Braylon's children, your mom's a dumb cunt. Thank you. With hate, Jacqueline. In the spirit of Off-Brand October, let's answer a few reader questions. Dear Jackie, that's me. Do you shave your face? I do not shave my face. I've thought about it. Like, I'll use that little like flawless touch thing from CVS, because I have like white hair around my mouth, like, what is it called? Peach fuzz. And I'll hit the nose trimmer here and there, but I haven't really gotten into the shaving of the face. I don't think it's like, I don't know. I do get worried that it's going to grow back dark, even though I know it's not. And I worry about like the shaving cream element. I'm not sure. Like, should I start? I think about Carolyn Manzo and Tom Sandoval shaving their forehead often. And I can imagine it would be great for like exfoliation. I do like an exfoliation pad. I love Molly Sims brand. If you're in the market, this is not an ad. This is just a woman sharing things. And I am going to hit you with a master list. Make sure you subscribe to the Bitch Bible newsletter, because the Off-Brand October newsletters have been unbelievable. They're all in Comic Sans. They have poems. They're like, "This week I'm grateful for Andrew." Like, it's unbelievable, if I do say so myself. But, I love Molly Sims brand, Wise Beauty. It's like truly amazing products. You know, when a celebrity gets a skincare line, no offense, I'm like, sure. These exfoliation pads, I will scream it from the rooftops. They're really amazing. I do them at night after I do my mid-afternoon 5 p.m. shower, and I wash my face, and then I just use like an exfoliation pad, and then I don't put anything on my skin. Like, I'm talking on a daily basis, I'm using like 4 products, like including a cleanser. I do not believe in the 18-step skincare routine. Like, we are keeping it pretty bare bones and pretty simple. I wash my face religiously twice a day. I keep the skin really, really clean. I don't wear a lot of makeup during the week. I know that's a shock, because I just look so glammed up all the time, especially on this podcast. I try to use like clean, good products, and I just try to keep my skin as clean as humanly possible. And I do think that we have to factor in consumerism when we're talking skincare, and it is in their best interest to sell you as many products as possible. But truly, I don't think we need so much stuff. I think we need to keep the skin clean and like breathing. And that's why I don't like to like lather on a retinol, an eye cream, a lotion, a peptide, a serum, lock it in with another lotion, a spray. I love red light therapy. I like a good schwitz in the sauna. I think that like really clears up my skin. And I use an oil. I use an exfoliating pad. Sometimes I hit it with an eye cream if I'm feeling fucking wild and crazy. But day in and day out, we are talking 4 products. And I rotate here and there, but that's it, folks. This is an interesting question. If Andrew wasn't a worrier as a parent, would you be the one to worry? It's not really in my DNA. Actually, it's severely in my DNA. Lots of mental health issues. But alas, I did not inherit them. Thank fucking God. I don't run neurotic like at all. And what's so funny is that when I started this podcast, I remember like the log line was like, you're super bitchy, super neurotic BFF that says everything you're thinking but wouldn't dare to say. Like, so stupid, by the way. We have to change that. I feel like it's still floating around some places. Can someone listening change all that? Because it's such a fucking lie. I played into this trope so hard when I started the podcast of being just like this like overprivileged like valley girl that was like crazy and like drunk and like neurotic. And I'm like not any of those things. I think, to quote Carol Radswell, I have a large hippocampus in my brain, so I look at everything very logistically. And the second that things get scary, I kind of start to disassociate and I detach completely, which is psychotic, but has served me really, really well. And what's interesting about Andrew and I is Andrew operates he is a doomsdayer. Like everything is like, I remember Clyde he was teething and he had a fever in the middle of the night. And Andrew was like, it's really bad. He's really hot. I'm like, Andrew, he's got a fever. It's okay. Like, he's going to be fine. And he's like, we're going to have to go to the ER. I'm telling you, it's bad. We got to get the cold rags. And his voice starts to break up and I can see her start to panic. And I'm like, dude, lock it in. Like, it's fine. I always think, what's the worst that could happen? And he's like, what's the worst that could happen? And somewhere we meet in the middle so that we're not like completely off the rails, because I run very lax, but discipline forward, if that makes sense. Like I want Clyde to be like in a bow tie by age 3, by his next birthday. If he is not standing at the door with like a mist of Evian, a wet towel, and a martini in a bow tie on a silver tray, like greeting guests when we have dinner parties, like if he's not taking people's purses and putting them in the coat closet and like offering beverages and cocktail napkins and warm nuts to the guests, then I haven't done my job. I believe that children, in the hierarchy of the home, not that they should be seen and not heard, although that sounds amazing, but I don't think that's in the cards for Clyde because he's a star. I believe in like, I'm discipline forward, you know, I'm not cool with like Clyde, and he does, mind you. Like I'd love to get a little spritz bottle with a little vinegar and just mist him when he starts misbehaving at restaurants. But like when we go to a nice restaurant, we are butts in seat. We are using utensils. We are wiping our face. We're not throwing things. And my mom did this with me. We had this thing called the hook. And I knew that she was like, if you do it again, we're going home. And I knew that if I did it again, I was going the fuck home. And I really like tried to incorporate that into my parenting style. Like, I don't want the kid that's like drawing on the walls. And like, I like a little decorum and manners. And he's 2, so it doesn't work all the time. But I want him to know that I'm serious. And like, if you fuck around, you're going to find out and you're not going to like it. Like, we're going home. And I think like, I don't know how this segued into this, but like, I don't really scream. I don't get crazy, but I want him to know that I am not fucking around. And I've been telling him recently, I'm like, just so you know, mommy's the boss. I'm the boss. Okay. So we're not negotiating. He's started speaking in a French accent, which is low key so glamorous. It is so crazy. They have these like little explosions. I've heard about this forever and ever as you're like manically Googling things. But like in the matter of a week, like he just like looked at something and he went, purple. And I'm like, bitch, who told you that? I didn't tell you that. And then he like picked up a letter and he goes, you. And it was the letter U. And I was like, oh my God, get the fuck out of here, creep. Like, what's going on? And he's been negotiating a lot. So I'll be like, okay, Clyde, it's time for the bath. And he goes, no diet, no diet. And I'm like, Claude? S'il vous plaît, no diet. And he does this like, now I'm like that dumb bitch talking about her kid thinking he's a fucking genius. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Sorry. Also, just sharp right. If I have to see another TikTok or a reel of, and I wake up in the morning and I step outside and I take a deep breath and I get real high and then bitches ain't shit and they can't say nothing. 100 motherfuckers can't tell me nothing. A breeze on the trap, breeze on the trap. It's done. Everybody and their gay brother has done that fucking bit and routine and better than you. So can we stop now? Like, the fact that people don't have the control or just the read of the room to know when something's been beat to fucking filth and like, okay, this is what we're going to do. Imagine I say this to Andrew. We're going to go back to back, okay? And then you're going to take the camera and I'm going to start off with Four Non-Blondes. And then when we get to you, it's going to go into this crazy, kooky rap track, okay? Dumb. Interesting. What does your dad think about your podcast? I have to tell you something. So my dad came on tour with me. He went to Tampa and Fort Lauderdale. He was my driver, driving Miss Lazy. Already made that joke. Yikes. And, you know, he like doesn't really listen to the podcast, obviously, but every time he goes to any type of like a corporate function, and God bless these women, like I owe you so many Venmos. Like all these not all these girls, like let's relax here, J-Lo, but people will always come up to him and be like, is your daughter's name Jackie? And he's like, oh my God. And he low-key loves it. And he said that he's been in many like real estate, like business situations. And then like the women or the husbands say like, oh, my wife listens, whatever. My dad like gets such a kick out of it. And this isn't lovely to say, but this is the truth. This is not like a shock. There's nothing that I could ever say on this podcast that would shock him or be like, oh my word. He's just so happy that I never need to ask him for any money. You know what I mean? The fact that I'm like financially independent is, he could care less. Like I could say anything on here and he'd be like, go get him, sweetheart. He's confused, but very, very proud. Like when I finished my show, he was like backstage waiting for me and he was like misty behind the eyes and he gave me the biggest hug and he's like, I'm so proud of you. And I was like, Dad, I just was like saying gay slurs on a stage, like bleeding out, okay, making tampon jokes. And he was like, I've never been prouder. Like he's so proud, which is like really sad. And it just goes to show you how deeply delusional, how low the bar is or was for me. And yeah, it's really nice actually. And like who knew? My whole family is like so supportive. It's really like people are like, what do they say? Like, or what does so and so think? What does your grandparents think? I'm like, they're fucking down in game. Okay. They're like they're not at all embarrassed or whatever. Somebody asked, I was at a shower a couple years ago and someone came up to my grandma and said something really bitchy, like, oh my God, if my granddaughter, I don't care what, you know, she's like, I don't care what the financial gain is. If my granddaughter spoke that way behind a microphone, like I'd be horrified. And my grandma looked her dead in her eye and she said, well, you're lucky it's not your granddaughter then, because I'm fucking thrilled about it. And I was like, let's cut her brake cables, simple Susan. Anyways, I'm going to go fuck off. Please go get your tickets at thebitchbible.com/tour. It's going to be so much fun. By the way, I don't care what anyone says. I do deeply care what people say, but the feedback for these shows has really been like amazing and shocking because I was pretty sure it was going to go the other way, but like you will have a great time. I promise you'll have a great time. I do not say that lightly. The last tour was shit. This one is awesome. Thank you. Have a great week. Goodbye.